kick it right over. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for Top Notch Comics #9 Book Club. My boy Jeffrey Darcy renewed his membership, so let's drop a leg to him, and we will get Alan to start the review. Biggie. I'm muted. Okay. All right. So let me see. Do this, do that. But Alan wants to. You want to just share the screen first, or you let me know when you're ready to share it.
One sec. Where did I put the comic? One sec here.
Without you. Yo, thank you to everybody that popped in tonight. We got GT Key, Jeffrey Darcy, Jeff Jack, the immortal Biggie Chic. And that's it for now. Thank you, everybody watching.
The immortal Biggie Chic. That is an awesome name.
All right. All right. I don't know where I put the comic. I'm like, I'm going to show it, and then I have no comic to show. One sec here. This doesn't make sense.
All right. Well, we'll hang out. Wait for a minute.
Wait. I found it. I'm like, okay. Sorry for my disorganization, guys. This comic is the one that we're going to be doing today. It is Top Notch #9, and it's the first appearance of the Black Hood. So I'm going to share my screen.
Yep.
And I'm going to go through the story and explain a little bit about the story. So you got this is the cover. One sec here. Gotta switch. So I can't see you guys when I do this, but here's the cover. It's kind of a cool cover with creepy guys and all this kind of stuff. Has not much to do with the story inside, but this is the creepy cover. You can buy a desk. Okay, so this is the Black Hood, Man of Mystery. This is his first appearance. You have three main characters. There's actually a fourth character that's also kind of key, but you got the Skull, you got the Hermit, and you got the Black Hood. Now, this is his first appearance, and it's also his origin story. So originally, he is a cop named Kip. He's Officer Kip, and he's keeping the neighborhood clean, and everybody's sort of happy that he is, keeping the neighborhood clean. The kids idolize him. He's a great guy. Okay. However, one day he is doing his, tour of the city, keeping it safe, when he sees a weird figure with a skull, either mask or face, and he's breaking into the Woodrow mansion, and he's like, "Hey, what are you doing there?" and basically, the Skull, which is the guy with the green face, he goes, "How dare you interfere with me, the Skull? You got to introduce yourself with your alias name, right?" And the Skull punches him out, knocks him out, and not only does he knock him out, but he puts a bit of the jewelry that he stole into the officer's hand and basically frames him for the burglary he just committed. So the Skull then whistles for the police to come. They see Kip on the ground with some jewelry in his hand, and basically they think that he was the one that robbed the mansion. He goes to court. Nobody believes him. They strip him of all his, police stuff, and he basically, has to wait on bail. As he's on bail, he's like, "Okay, I got to prove my innocence. How am I going to prove my innocence? Well, I got to find the guy that actually committed the crime." And he's like kind of going through the town to find where is the Skull. And he manages to find the Skull is doing a warehouse robbery. And basically, When he gets there, the skull again. The skull defeats him twice. He gets beaten twice by the skull. This time he shoots at the skull, but the skull doesn't get hurt by the bullets. And the skull's men knock him out, and they drag him out. And not only this is like the 40s, guys. So in the 40s, people are brutal, totally brutal. They don't care that he's a cop. They basically drag him out, and they put him into a ditch, shoot him a whole bunch of times, leave him to bleed out in the ditch. Okay, that's the kind of people we're dealing with here. And it just happens, though, that the ditch that they left him in was near an old log cabin. And the man living there, a hermit, finds Kip's bleeding out body and takes him back to, kind of put him back together again. And so, the hermit basically takes care of him, 8 bullets out of him, by the way. He shot him that many times. And he sort of takes care of him, nurses him back to health. And they share stories about the skull, that both of them hate the skull. Both have their histories with the skull. And both the hermit knew him long time ago, and he devoted his life to learning how to defeat the skull. Okay. And so Kip is like, hey, I'm still young. I can do your job. I can, you have the knowledge. I have the ability, the physical ability. Help me to learn how to defeat the skull. And I will learn whatever you need to teach me. And he says, but you got to use it to fight crime. And he's like, yeah, totally. I'm totally game for that. So he learns how to chop wood, punch a bag, do some science stuff. So, like typical, this is what's called a montage of the golden age. This one panel.
There has to be an 1980s song going upon over it.
Like imagine that. He's like lifting logs, do whatever it is that they have to do back then. It's totally 80s song playing as this is happening. Okay. Let's go to the next page. And then after all of that, after many months, they say, the Black Hood is born. He's got a snazzy costume now. And he's ready to go fight the skull. And the skull has been doing a lot of nasty stuff while this is all gone. He's been killing people and doing a whole bunch of crimes. But he's now preparing for his bigger crime. He's basically there's a masquerade party that's going to happen, and all the town richest people will be there, and actually in the country. Okay, so it's like the rich women in the country are going to attend this. One sec here. Attend this ball, masquerade party, and it's the main woman. This is the main woman. She's the one that's putting on the ball, and the skull sends a note to all of them saying, "Dear Mrs. Sultan, I forced you to overlook. I forgive you for overlooking me when I sent out your invitations, but fear the skull shall not pass your daughter's birthday." So her daughter is Barbara Sutton, okay, and her daughter is kind of another one of the key characters in the Black Hood. So it's her daughter's birthday, and she's like, Barbara, terrible, awful thing. The skull is gonna like ruin the party. Basically, he's a party keeper, but he wants everybody to go to the party, so everybody gets an invitation, but they also get a warning. If they do not attend this party, they will be murdered. Okay, so all the richest guests will be murdered if they don't attend. So they're all like, okay, well, we guess we have to attend. And now Kip, or the Black Hood, he's the one that's like, hey, he discovers this whole thing going on, and he decides that he's going to impersonate one of these richest guests that's been invited. He's like, and he takes the invitation of a David Seaman, okay, and he basically ties up the guy and puts a gag in his mouth. He's like, "Don't worry, you'll be fine, but I'm going to go to the party instead of you." Okay, all right, and then we see this party that's going on, and this is Golden Age, so there's lots of dialogue. So just so you know, and you see, people are like saying hi to each other and blah blah blah, and this girl right here, this is Barbara, and she's in the future episodes of like the Black Hood. She's kind of the main girlfriend or the love interest for the Black Hood, just so you know. And she's actually kind of like engaged to the guy that he took over the guy's invitation for, and he's wearing the Black Hood costume as his costume for the masquerade party. But it's weird, she kind of likes him better as the Black Hood. So yeah, they always like a guy in costume. Okay, so during the party, okay, wait, did I skip? Yeah, I did skip. Okay, well, we'll skip. 1 sec here, I got to go back one page here. Okay, so during the party, everything is going well, and then all of a sudden, this woman, she's like, "Oh, something's happening! I'm being robbed! My pearls!" Okay, and then all of a sudden, she gets like something in her neck, and it's like a dart has been shot into her neck. She turns green, and then she looks like the skull. Like, so these people are, so one person dies, and then the Hood, he says, okay, he's got to figure out how did that happen, okay? And so he gets like, there's a guy taking pictures of the party, and he's like, "Hey, can you take some more pictures for me, and get on the balcony, take as many pictures as you can so that we can see what's going on here." And then as the party continues, Barbara and him get a little closer. And 1 sec here, I don't want to ruin it. And then another person gets shot in the neck and dies. It's like, had to let another person get killed, of course. So 2 people have now died. And the Black Hood, he's like, "I got to find out who did this." And so he looks at the photographs that the photographer was taking, and he discovers who had done these murders. And he's like, "Shall we dance, Mrs. Sutton?" To the big fat woman who's running the party. And he basically pushes her into this big vase. And "Why are you doing this to this poor woman with a cigarette holder?" Okay. Well, actually, she was the Hood, the skull, disguised as the big fat woman, and she was using her cigar or cigarette thing as like as a blowgun, and she was like shooting the guests that way. That's how this all worked. And so she's like, and then her daughter, she's like, "Oh, but where's my girl? Where's my mom?" kind of thing. But he's like, "She's fine. Don't worry about it. Your mom's fine. And I've solved the case." And but she's now in love with him, totally in love with him. Okay. And the police take the Black Hood, the skull away, and basically, yeah. She's like, "When will I see him again?" And so, whoops, let's see. Okay. And then he kind of visits her and he shows her the pictures of the Black Hood, not the Black Hood, but the skull, killing people with the cigarette thing. And then they have a big long conversation, and "When will I see you again?" kind of thing happens. And he goes back to the hermit, and that's kind of where he hangs out. That's where his new life is, with the hermit, and he fights crime on the side. and now the skull is locked up, and the main girl is kind of like thinking about him all the time. But don't worry, the very next episode, the skull will escape, and he'll do some more sinister stuff.
Not the skull again.
What?
Not the skull again.
Yeah. So the next issue will have the skull again. So that's it for the Black Hood. So it's a cool story, actually. I mean, considering how many, like, this is not that long. It's not that many pages, but a lot of stuff happens, right? There's, he's encountered the skull twice. He's gotten beaten by the skull twice. And then he goes through his, like, it's one panel, but he goes through his own montage of becoming the Black Hood.
It's always a Pat Benatar song.
Yeah. It's like some kind of do. Yeah, I don't know. I can't do it. You're the music guy, Matt. But he goes through a whole bunch of things. He gets framed. His life gets ruined if you think about it. He was framed. He was murdered, and then so basically he was a vigilante, and then they basically think he's dead now, and then he basically becomes this new person, which is the Black Hood. And his alias, his actual, he is now the Black Hood. He doesn't have anything to go back to. So it's a really interesting story for a very early character. This is like 1940 that this book came out. Yeah, I think it's a kind of a fun story. And also you get even in, like, all that happens, and then you even have another situation with the skull, a third time that he's encountered the skull, and it's actually a little bit of a murder mystery. How is the skull killing everybody at this masquerade party? It has kind of Joker vibes to it, that whole situation, I thought. And yeah, so a lot happens in very, that's one thing I like about the Golden Age. They can get a lot of stuff happening in very short amount of time, like very quickly. So I really enjoyed this story. Because of it, I actually ended up collecting all the Black Hood stuff now. That's been a kind of a thing. And I think it's a really interesting dynamic that you have this character that has this girl that's kind of pining for him with Barbara Sutton, and you got this sort of bad guy that is a reoccurring bad guy. He fights other criminals too, by the way, but the skull is kind of like his main rival, kind of like the Joker. Very similar. Like, I feel like there's a lot of similarities between the skull and the Joker. The fact that he uses the poison darts and stuff, that kind of feels very Joe-esque. Yeah, so for me, the cover, I thought the cover is really cool. It has nothing to do with the story inside. I know that's like a sore point for D, but I like the cover. It's kind of interesting. I'll show it again. I'm gonna, if it was one of the stories inside, I would have given it a higher score, but I'll give it a 3.5. I think it's a cool cover. Maybe not one of the best covers of the Golden Age, but it is a cool cover. I like the fact that his name is, like, even though the comic is actually Top Notch Comics, they gave him, first billing kind of thing, and he's a Mandarin. So I think that's kind of cool. So I give the cover a 3.5, and the interior art, it's pedestrian. It's not like some of the books that we read, like for like the 90s or more modern books, will have really great panels, like really, really great art. This art is much more utilitarian. It kind of serves the purpose. It shows what's happening. It's not about, wow, this is amazing art. Okay, so I'm going to give the interior art a 3. It's very functional, but not maybe the most extravagant art. I actually do like the design of the skull. I think it's kind of cool that he's this green guy with and one of the things that they don't do in some of these comics is when they have Man of Mystery you don't really know what their powers are. You know he's strong, he's a good detective, but you don't really know what the character's powers are, and you don't really know what the villain's powers are either. And they do that on purpose. They kind of hold back a little bit of the story, so that you're, what's going to happen? Where is this going to go? What can he do? But we know that the Skull can do these weird things with poison. He has immunity to bullets. He can fight. So we know that the Skull is actually a pretty tough dude. But we don't know all of his power set yet. So I think it's an interesting story. So for me, I actually really like the story. I'm going to give the story a 4. And overall, I'm actually going to give it a 4 as well, because I really did enjoy this book, and it really inspired me to to collect the Black Hood and get really right into it. I am going to pick. So that's my overall scores. We'll go with D. D, you can be next.
It's me. I'm D. So Alan kind of spoiled how I felt about the cover. The book, the cover has so much going on, and you look at that, and you start, if you bought it for that story, you're gonna open up the book, and it's nothing of what they're showing you on the cover, which is, and I didn't read the full. Like it's one of them 68-page books, so
yeah, it has multiple
maybe they
stories.
put.
Yeah.
Did they put all the characters of the
I
book
think it
on
has
the cover?
elements of each of the stories, so that's why.
Okay. Yeah, and so I can dig that. It just still, like, I kept waiting for like some of the things from the cover to pop up, and I'm like, oh no, it's not that at all.
Not gonna happen.
Yep, it didn't happen. So the cover, I'm gonna give it a 2. Art is cool. It's definitely collectible. It's not my thing. Interior art, man, I hate to say this, and I think some of you guys might try and poison me after I say this, but some of the Golden Age art really starts to blend together after a while, and to me, this felt like another Bullet Man.
As I said,
another
functional art.
Yeah, it works. It does tell the story, but you're not. The interiors aren't gonna, knock your socks off. Not even for the Golden Age. I'll give the interior art a 2.5. The story, you said, they did a lot in such a short amount of time, and they did. But I always consider that to be a weakness. And it could go the other way. They could do almost nothing with a lot of time. So I'm not saying it needs to flip all the way. But one of my least favorite aspects of reading some of these Golden Age stories is they're all inside of these like very large books. And they give you a bunch of filler stories afterwards. And they could have just fleshed out the story better.
Yeah, that's the Golden Age problem. I totally agree.
Yeah. I hated how he got framed. That was such a I just leave these in his hand, and now he's guilty. Like that didn't line up.
He didn't have his full trial yet. It was just he was in between.
Yeah, but it just you could tell his life was falling apart, and like that was just such a quick way to have it all get flushed down the tube. Like I'd like to see that be a little more intricate on how they set him up. Then I was fine with how he got the second time. Like he's scouring the city and looking for him, and like, oh, there he is, and then like they rough him up and they shoot him a bunch. I was like, damn, that's kind of savage. Then he became the Black Hood, which was I like that he didn't get he wasn't bitten by a spider or anything. He just
no superpowers.
Yeah, he really got knocked down a couple times by this criminal, and now he wants to get back at him. But then the one dude that found him was also a sheriff of a town where
Mhm.
where the skull made the law turn against him. Like, of all the places that they could have dumped his body, it had to have been in
To the
front
one
of
guy
the one guy that, and maybe he's done it to like dozens and dozens of people. So it was really kind of hard not to dump him in front of a house of someone that the skull screwed over. But that I get that
I
was
know,
hard to
there's
believe.
big coincidence. Big coincidence. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the ball scene, like that was weird. Like, like the setup of, hey, I'm sending out these invites, and then he sends out warning letters to everyone that I'm going to be there and I'm going to get you. Like, it's like they couldn't find a way to make the Black Hood.
Oh, we lost Dee's voice there.
Guys, I might have to wrap this up. I'm going to do my scores real quick. The story I thought was the 2. Overall, I'll give it a 2.5. I'll jump back in a minute. Okay. Hello.
Yep, we hear you.
Just pick who you want next, Dan. All right.
I think he picks Matt.
Let Biggie go next.
Point.
Really?
Hold on. I'm
Why?
still.
But Matt, he's totaling stuff.
Because I'm
That's why.
still trying to dig out my book for next week.
Oh.
All right, I'll go. No problem. 5, 7, 9.9. Just a 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. Okay. 23.5. So for me, I like the cover. Looked like a badass cover to me. First appearance looked good. I did read the extra stories. I enjoyed it. It wasn't like a typical Golden Age book where it was a fucking newspaper. It had really basic bubbles, and you could read it very, very smoothingly, in my opinion. And yeah, it was maybe a little bit less wordy than most Golden Age books, actually, to me. But
yeah, it was sort of in between, I would say, more Silver Age kind of level.
Yeah, maybe not so bad to me. So for the cover, you mind holding it up again, Alan, since we do have it on panel?
Yeah, yep.
All right.
It's actually a really cool cover.
Yeah, I dig it. I love the creepy little guy in the bottom by the bat. With the red and white.
He's one of the boys, and then you got these creepy. This is a different story character, but
yeah. Yeah, so I enjoyed it. I'm going to give that a solid 4. I mean, to me, it's done very well. Yeah, I liked it a lot. If it was my book, I'd be fucking every other day probably showing it. So, it's how I roll.
I'm happy to have it.
I would love to have a book like that. Yeah, absolutely. I'd actually love to have a book like that more than just some random key that everybody shows every day. So I appreciate it. The inside art was fucking fantastic. Classical comic art, my favorite type. I could see where people I would love to know who did the cover and the insides. I looked and I couldn't figure it out.
Let me see what this thing says. It says yeah, it doesn't say who did it. That's I think I looked it up before and it doesn't say. It just says a bunch of artists worked on this book, but not who did what.
Well, I could see a mixture of all the good Golden Age guys in that. I'd be surprised.
Irv Novick was involved as well. He
Irvik,
did a lot of stuff. Irv Novick. He did a lot of stuff for Pep. He's kind of known for
He
Pep.
also did a lot of stuff at DC in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give the inside art a 3.5. Now the story, it wasn't the typical chemical or radioactive crap from Silver Age stuff. Even Batman got Joker with some chemicals and shit like that. But it was a little dumbed down, pun intended, because
Oh, so the cover is done by Ed Ash, actually.
okay, I might have to look into some of his other covers because that's interesting. He looks
And
good. To me.
Al Kami did the interior for the story. I
Yeah,
don't know.
who's the,
I'm
what
not
is the
familiar with either of those names, so
what's the comic company? Quality?
it's Quality Comics. No,
Quality.
MLJ.
Oh, MLJ.
It's
Okay,
like
oh,
Archie. It's an Archie comic.
okay, very very common MLJ. Cool. All right, yeah, that's we'll have to keep note of that. Ash, maybe he'll pop up
Yeah, I
later.
mean, this is before Archie came out, right? So this is kind of like, MLJ was producing all the, cool superheroes like the Shield and, I don't know, the Web and all those.
Hangman.
Hangman, yeah.
All right.
Al Cavi also did a Airboy. He was the first Airboy artist.
Well, there you
really
go.
cool. There you go.
That's
That's
a big
cool.
big fucking deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I dig him, man. I like Ash, whoever he is. I'm down with you, brother. So the story, like, didn't he get shot in the head? Didn't this guy have brain damage?
No brain damage. Just shot.
Why do you have bandages on his damn head during the healing factor? Time?
Maybe he got shot in the head, but he got shot 8 times, so he got pretty much shot everywhere.
I think he got a little brain damage.
They showed him getting hit in the head with a flapjack when he was shooting at the skull.
Okay.
Yeah, they knocked him over the head when.
So I feel like
Yeah.
some of his powers came from brain damage. I'm just going to put that out there.
I don't think so.
That's my theory.
The Hermit had medical training. He was fine.
The hermit had bandages on his head. He was doing them things, fixing them and shit. So I'm going with brain damage and good old fashioned cabin outside working, cutting logs and doing push-ups and jumping jacks shit or whatever. So that's why I'm going with the guy that has superpowers, which ain't much of a thing to have superpowers. You just exercised or whatever. And
Well, he learned science too, which is interesting.
oh, okay.
You also think about it, it's like physiotherapy because of all the work he's doing too with all those shots.
Yeah, I can't imagine him being very healthy after being shot like 8 times.
No, he comes out like a stud because he's damaged. It's kind of stupid, but I'm gonna give it a 3.25, and overall, I will go 3.5. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the other stories too. I don't know which one I liked the most, but there you go.
Hey guys,
I read.
hey, Matt, hold on 1 second. I have to go back into work, so I just wanted to pop in and say I'm sorry I had to jump off so it's quickly, but all right, I'll talk to y'all later.
Thank you, D. Hey, by the way, not you, D, but TM. Thanks for popping in, TM. We'll catch you later, big dog. We didn't miss you. All right, there we go.
I also read the entire book because that's who I am. If I'm going to read a comic, I'm going to read it through to the end. And I have to say, there were some very interesting stories in there and a couple of duds. But for the current story that we're talking about, not a dud. What makes me laugh the most is 1940s Justice and Detective Method. Oh, he has jewels. Never mind that he could have, accidentally reached for the criminal and ended up with a head full of jewels instead while trying to stop the guy and getting hit. No, he had to stole them.
Yeah, it's pretty.
1930s crowd, I guess DAs in the States. 1930s DAs just want to get everybody into jail.
Away. Yeah,
throw it away.
Put them in jail forever.
Excuse me. So anyway, there was also the fact that I was really like, how the hell did they turn green? It looked like they were throwing masks on, like in that little red thing on the top. Where the hell does that come from?
It didn't take much, yeah.
Like, what do you mean? They were turning green because he shot them with a dart.
Yeah, you guys think
there was a red thing on top. They all had like this ribbon or something on the top where it was red.
It's like a thing in the neck.
Well, anyway.
I think that was part of their costume or something that you're
possibly. I don't know. It just looked weird to me. However, let's get into the scores because that's what everybody.
Maybe that's how the red guy turned ugly, but he turned red instead of green. Maybe they eventually turned red. I don't know. Go ahead.
Okay. Also, the part of the story where the man formerly known as the Hermit just happens to know I got medical knowledge. Oh, I can help him do this. It's just amazing that he was able to do that. So the cover 4, I liked it, even though it was not, tied to any particular story. It was still a great Golden Age cover. So 4. Interior art for this story, 3.75. It was really good for Golden Age. I would throw in the fact that, backgrounds would have been nice, but in that style, in that time, it was more about the people, and they just put different colors to show background. So that's fine. Writing. The story was not the greatest. I'm going to give this, it's okay. For Golden Age, it's great. It's perfect for Golden Age. So because it's perfect for Golden Age, I'm going to give it a 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
But it's not like there were so many holes in this story. Like, how on earth did the Red Skull get everybody's addresses?
The skull, not the Red Skull. This is just the skull.
Skull. All right, the skull. How did he get there so fast? How did he get everybody's addresses so fast?
People had telephone books back then, Matt.
Yeah, I don't think that's not that complicated.
Yes, but most of them would have had unlisted numbers. But
no,
dude.
No.
The next thing that I will say is, how the hell did he know that she was okay? How the hell did he know that he didn't kill her? To take
I didn't know that part, but you got a point there. I was like wondering that too. It's like, okay,
it's like, she's fine. How do you know? Oh, I read his mind.
I don't know. Yeah, he didn't know. He didn't know.
Anyway, overall, because it was a fun Golden Age book, I'm going to give it a 4.
Okay. Yeah, those are good scores from that and me. And D wasn't too heavy on it, so I think this is going to do well.
I think D would be harder on this one.
15.25. No, he's pretty good to it, I think. All right, so 37, 47,
this
52.
Is one of those books that I'd love to see rewritten in the modern era and do a full, like, just as D said, do a book about it. I think it could be a full.
We're at 53, Matt.
53 even?
Yep.
Sort of mid-range book.
That puts it at 66.25, which is mid-range.
Yeah, I would have thought so. I mean, it's a good book, though.
Slightly on the bottom, but okay, so top notch. 9.53 for 4, 66.25%. Yeah, it's in the bottom half, but it's close to the middle.
Yeah, so in the next one, the skull breaks free from prison, and he's doing some bad stuff too.
I'm just glad that it wasn't every page was I'm glad it was a small story. It felt like a normal turn instead of 68 pages of the Black Hood. That would have probably worn a little bit. I thought the story ran well. I didn't have issues with the story that much. I thought it was very basic. It was the old school, met the hermit in the woods and trained up, and it worked for me.
Yeah.
I got no issues. I get why the super villain did all the shit he did. The only thing I didn't understand was how did the skull get his powers? That's all.
He didn't we don't. That's one thing we don't know. It's a man of mystery kind of situation.
The mystery man.
Yeah. So one of the things is that they hint at in this book is the skull is incredibly old.
Yes.
He's bulletproof.
Yeah.
And he has these weird, and he has his own syndicate of people working for him.
Don't forget, he's probably a master chemist.
And he's probably. So that's one of the things that was really popular in the Golden Age. If you look at Bullet Man, they're really into science, and science can, they can make gadgety things. Batman's the same way. So yeah, it's got a lot of that. I don't know. I like the Golden Age for that. There was a lot of they in a way kind of they took liberties with things, with science and stuff, but it was kind of fun. They would always say, they'd put out there like, because of science you can do this, or the fact that they have like these mysteries that you have to solve. How are we going to solve this mystery? How are people getting shot in the neck? I kind of predicted that it was going to be the girl with the thing, but
I didn't see that coming, to tell you the truth. I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Well, how-
I mean, by the time she was on the panels all the time, I was like, okay, it's got to be her. But
But yeah, I mean, I think it was interesting. So
yeah, man, looked like a fun book.
yeah,
All right. So I believe it is Sir Matthew's turn to pick a book.
I struggled with this one in the sense that like I had like 5 or 6 I wanted to do, and then I decided to go with this in a completely different direction. That's why I had to dig it now. 50 years ago this year, this book came out. Superman 300.
I got the book. Hell yeah.
Superman 2001 is the story. It has Superman arriving in 1976.
okay.
Basically what happens if Superman arrives in 1976 and he becomes the Superman of 2001? And what I thought would be interesting, 25 years after 2001, would be to look at this book and see what they thought we would have at the beginning of the 21st century.
Do you have flying cars?
No, but they do.
By the way, I know this cover only because it's one of those weird innuendo ones.
Oh, yes.
That's his origin too, right?
Well, it plays with his origin. That's right.
Okay.
Because what it does is it makes it 25 years later.
Wow.
So,
Wow,
anyways,
wow.
that's the book I'm picking, Superman 300 from
Well,
1970.
that's a book that people collect because they collect Superman origins. Like I know Nauman collects origins, so he likes that one a lot. It's like signed by 20 people or some shit. So
sorry, Superman, what number?
300.
I got it like literally right over here.
Did you
I
just
got
pick
you
that
back.
up?
What?
Did you just pick that up?
No, I've had it for a long time.
Oh yeah.
That's why I was digging for it, because it was actually filed.
Because I know you were looking for Adventure 300. I was wondering if it was. Yeah.
Yes, but
one of the ones you're
Adventure 300, I only bought 2024. So, but
So that's
this
a
one
big
I
issue,
bought.
though. That's cool.
Yeah, it's actually pretty cheap. You can get this for about $5.
Oh, not bad at all. I'll look for a
Yep.
copy of that if I don't have it already. I don't think I have it.
Nice big anniversary issue, so it's a nice easy one. But it's cool because I like the 25 years, and now it's 50 years. That's why I thought.
Yeah,
of it
yeah.
today.
I like ones. When I was a kid, I always liked stories that kind of looked into the future and what they kind of predicted. And I especially liked ones that were done like where it was in the past and now I'm in that future point. Like Back to the Future was like that. But there was a lot of ones like if you watch the I think it was from the 60s, the time machine. That's a real I love that movie. And they kind of show a little bit about what the future is going to be like. And I like that, that we're going to get killed by the nuclear bombs and,
Yeah.
So I'm a big futurist. I like seeing the future.
Well, I like seeing what people think is the future.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Exactly.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
Like another one that I really liked was Metropolis. That's a really
Right.
old movie. And they have like, the flying car,
Well, isn't the Metropolis robot what they based Bender on? Like, I should say the remote robot by Schomburg that they based Bender on. I thought they were very similar looking.
I don't really think so. Do you think
I
so?
know they used the Metropolis robot as a guideline for the Queen album, The News of the World.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
The Metropolis one looks like very feminine, right? It's not. It doesn't.
Yeah,
look
it
like
may
the
be.
Star
I may
Wars
be
49.
wrong. But I mean, like it's. I thought that. Like, I mean, I thought there was like.
Okay,
Yep.
everybody has this book but me. I don't know. I think I have it. I got to check now. Now I feel.
Yeah, the Schomburg startling robot is definitely they were.
Oh yeah, no, I confirmed that. I was the one that actually confirmed that on my.
Yeah, I
That's
know
not-
Bender. That infected Bender. I mean that.
Yeah,
How
that's
the
but
fuck
what-
did you confirm it? Like they did it and that was just it. So I would say whoever did it made that work, right? Like,
Mhm.
all right, hold on, I'll get a picture of it. We'll let everybody see. Yeah, this is absolutely
Wesley Dodds?
Bender.
Who's Wesley Dodds? Why is that name really familiar?
the Sandman.
Sandman. Thank you. I'm terrible with the characters real
Secret
name.
identities.
Yeah. Not their secret identities, their actual identities. Like that's their actual identity, right?
Yeah.
I always think of it's sort of like what I do with people with their handles. Like, you know, like I call Matt Likes Comics. When I meet him in public, I'm like, oh, it's Matt Like Comics. How you doing, Matt Likes Comics? And it's just a thing. But yeah, so that is the Human Torch. And that looks like a ripoff of Bender too, doesn't it?
It does.
That's a really great cover, by the way. The Human Torch
Yeah.
one. Is that Alex Schomburg?
I don't know. I would assume. I can't see the number.
It doesn't look like an Alex Schomburg though, only because of the way that the
Oh, look at this Batman down here. I didn't know that might be.
that's an homage. I think
I
that's
don't
somebody
know.
doing an homage. That's
Oh,
not.
yeah.
That's not. And look at
And
the
then-
startling with Bender actually
Holy
and
shit!
the girl. That's really cool.
Is that a real book? Oh no, it's by Photoshop.
No, it's not a
Damn,
real book. It's somebody.
I would be
photoshopped
sick if it
but
was.
that looks really cool.
Look at all these
I
great
like
homages on here.
Yeah, I like homages. I'm a big homage fan. I have a whole long box devoted to homage covers. But
All
I
right, well,
really like that Batman one. Looks interesting.
Okay,
I like
just-
both of these. I would rather have the actual.
Oh yeah, the real Bender one. Yeah.
Yeah, I would love that. Maybe that'll be a good commission for one of these YouTube artists to do. All right. Well, that
Mhm.
was Top Notch 9. Let's go around the horn. I know that Matt just had an interview with, I think it was Veronica Comics.
Veronica Totten. Yes, that was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And coming up this weekend, there's a Superman show, and I'm still trying to confirm who's going to be on it at 9 p.m. Eastern. And then next Tuesday, I have artist Sammy Francis joining me on my Tuesday show. And I'm
Cool.
Alan and I and Lau Tor from All the Comments
Mhm.
are going to be showing the results of our $50 challenge on Alan's Friday Comic Show.
It's a battle. It's not
It's
a
a battle.
challenge. It's a battle. Battle
It's a
to the
battle.
death. So yeah.
Oh, you guys
I'm already half dead, so you're halfway there.
$50 comic challenge. You didn't invite me, you motherfuckers.
You weren't
No,
at
it was-
the con.
It was at people at the con. We went to the
Oh.
Ottawa Comic Con together, and we had $50 each to play to see who would win.
Yeah, I wanted to do that like on the internet where we did like under $10, but we never got to it. But all right.
So yes, on my show on Friday, I will be doing the 50 battle with Matt, and I'm gonna actually give you guys a quick preview of the books that I'm using. Whoa,
I'm only
that's the pack that I picked up for $50. And this is not $50 US, which is $1 million Canadian. This is $50 Canadian. Can you imagine all these books for $50? $1 billion
I
worth
have
of books.
these.
Okay, so yeah, so that we're doing on Friday on my Friday Hangout show, and
I have
on
these.
Saturday, I'll be showing the rest of the books that I picked up because I spent almost $200 altogether on at the con, and I picked up some pretty cool things within that budget of a couple $100. So I'll be showing that on Saturday, and then next week, if you're watching my current unboxing series, or even tomorrow, if you watch my current unboxing series, it's all Grail books. It's like Grail, cool, big books. And the finale is going to happen soon, where I show a few episodes.
All right.
Okay,
Cool, man.
and so yeah,
All right.
that's it.
So you heard Alan, you heard the man. Big Grell's coming on his haul videos, Friday night hangout, doing the $50 challenge and his normal hangout per usual. Tomorrow night we will be doing the Hot 5 Commandments with me and TM Nerdy.
Cool.
And Friday night, I think I'll come up with some categories for us to play around with. I'm gonna try to structure maybe some this and that, a little bit of trivia, and maybe some something else I'm working on. So yeah, Collector Club Friday, this Hot 5 Commandments Thursday, and everything else per usual. Thank you everybody that came. I feel like there was something else I was going to say, but all right. Oh yeah, next week, Superman 300.
It feels like a slot machine right now. Superman, Alan's face.
Superman, and sorry, you don't win, guys. There's no winning here.
All right.
I'll have to look.
I
Maybe
don't
I
know.
have it in
I
my
think-
box. It seems like a book I would have bought.
What up, Chonker? All right. See y'all soon, man. Thank you, everybody. Hashtag enjoy.
Bye,
Biggie. Biggie.
All right, we're done.